Any adjustments to the agenda? Errors and omissions?
Yes, and Madam Chair, I would like to add a notice by the Vermont State Ethics Commission for a matter of public disclosure for both every member of municipal government, and for all the people, all the citizens of Westminster who are eligible to participate in this.
Okay. Where would you like that?
Are we having executive session?
I do not know of a reason to have one at this time.
So since we're not having executive session, Madam Chair, can we strike executive session and move that to H?
Sure.
Thank you.
So we're going to strike executive session and we're going to put Vermont State Ethics Commission in as H. Okay.
And
H.
Yeah.
I, errors and omissions. Errors and omissions. Okay, thank you.
perfect. All right, except anything else? All right, acceptance of minutes, October 25th, 2023.
Oh, no.
No.
So moved.
Anybody want a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the minutes of October 25th, 2023. All those in favor?
Aye.
Could I just ask a question?
Yeah,
Would you rather I do it as a draft and have everyone look at it as than the way we're doing it? Would you rather have it just be a draft paper? Would that be something that you would think about, or and then have everybody take a look, or you just want to continue to do it the way we're doing it?
I don't have a preference.
Just, you can think about
What's
it.
easy for you?
I don't care. As long as you don't yell.
If you have a question, you may get an answer quicker,
Right, if you
if
send
we
it
all
to
see it.
everybody, right.
Okay.
but you may also get 4 or 5 answers back that aren't the same. So
Okay.
I don't have a preference.
Whatever works for you, Millie.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Communications and public comments. So-
Did you want to? No, I'm later on the agenda.
She's an agenda item.
Okay, I'm a comment. So, I'm Sarah Waldo from Westminster West, and I'm kind of excited that you might have a town manager very soon, so that's great news. And I also am very pleased that you're open to having a welcome for this new town manager, if he is the town manager. And I would encourage you to involve the community in organizing this. It's really my interest to have more engagement in the town and town politics. So with this new person coming on, to give it some energy and welcome people into what the select board does and what town government is. That would be a suggestion. And I also have another suggestion for the select board. In the Gazette, every month, various town organizations like Fire and Rescue and the Highway Department have an article about what's been going on. And I would encourage the select board to do the same thing, to pick something of interest or something important in the town. Maybe not every month, but just so people can know about what's going on in town. You know, I don't think a lot of people go onto the website to read the minutes. You know, they're a little dry, and, you know.
I can spice them up.
They're beautiful. They're just as they should be. Very factual and to the point.
But not interesting.
No, very interesting.
No, that was a nice way to say it.
But, you know, everybody reads the Gazette, so people can read about this town organization called the board and know what's going on and become familiar with the select board. So those are my two comments. I think that's it. Thanks.
Thank you for your time. Thank
And
you.
your service to town.
I had thought about the Gazette article multiple times, and my follow-through has not been there. So I will admit.
A couple of managers, oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that I agree, but I was thinking it should be from like the desk of the town manager.
Yeah,
that's what I was
Two
thinking.
town managers ago,
They did do that.
he would do that.
Yeah.
It was kind of dry. Without kind of specifics, it was just very basic, but
Yeah.
we can talk to the new fellow and when he,
Has already
yeah, he,
expressed interest in doing
Yep.
something. So,
Great. That would be wonderful.
That leave it to me?
that leaves it to you, sir.
Well, I appreciate this. Please, I do apologize. I will keep this no longer than 5 minutes. So on March 10th this year, this is my, I've had the privilege of serving 3 terms, a 2-year term, as a select man for the town of Westminster. And on March the 10th, 2023, I had announced to as many people as I thought I knew that I would not be seeking another term. And I wanted to make that official tonight and say say thank you to everybody, all the people I've served with on this board, all the people I've served with on prior boards, Millie Barry for all her just exceptional work and commitment, Allison Bigwood for stepping in, Chip Willis for being there for us this year during transition, and thank you for being here tonight. Charles Lawrence and everyone on the crew who have done their very best. A very special thing to my friend Jason Curry. I think we've been through a lot, and I really appreciate that. And everyone else who came before me. Coming from New Jersey, this has been a real privilege for me. You know, I'm a educated person in history and political science. And to actually have participated in actual representative government is an extraordinary thing, and especially in this day and age. And I felt compelled, after speaking to some people, that maybe they didn't know that I had chose to do that. So, and I did want to clarify something, because people had come up to me. Not once, not ever, had I ever said that I thought that the codification of term limit should be something that's a rule or something should be adopted. What I did say was that I think it's great to follow the tradition set down by George Washington, to follow that rule. And it's a good rule. And change, I can attest to, because when you look at all the wonderful people that are up here today, I'm the oldest one in here after 6 years. We have had a complete turnover, and we also have something called the chair. The chair now rotates every year. Hopefully that will continue. And I'm also, and lastly, I just wanted to say we have accomplished a lot. It's not always what people think, but when you get into the role, I would encourage anyone now, because there's 4 months to go, who wishes to serve, I couldn't recommend highly to come in and serve. Change is a good thing. And having different people in the role is also a good thing. And I'm proud of a couple of things, and then I'm going to shut up. I'm going to talk later about the Ethics Committee, the Vermont State Ethics Commission. When they began looking at the Ethics Commission, believe it or not, the Center for Public Integrity several years ago found that Vermont was one of 4 states that did not have an ethics rule. And we received an F in ethics, failure. And the commission now established is working to hopefully redress some of that. And I'm very proud of some of the things we accomplished all as a group and as a team. And one of them was the restoration of the conflict of interest. And irrespective of when things have been contentious up here, I can tell you that everyone I've served with has always been professional, respectful of one another, and had the town's best interest in heart. And we don't always get to say this to everybody, but I really, again, coming from New Jersey, I never thought I'd have a chance to sit and actually exercise real representative government, because I don't think if I was down there in New York, I would have gotten that opportunity. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody, also in town hall as well, and if I missed anybody. And the seat that was my privilege to have, I think a little too long, I should have only done 2 terms, is now open, and folks who wish to seek to be a part of our government should do so, and I highly encourage them. And again, I thank you all for this indulgence. I thank you all for all your partnership, and I wish everyone the best of luck, and I'm sure I'll see you around.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all, Madam Chair. I got it in 4.5 minutes.
Good job.
Actually, 3.5 minutes.
Any other communications or public comments?
Just one relaying from our town moderator that as we start budget and we start the new town manager, he would like to attend meetings that are relevant where you can, as we start talking about budget items and basically town meeting preparation as he is the town moderator, David.
Okay. Any other communications and public comments? All right, moving on to financial discussion. Go Chip.
Don't you? So, dumped out somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 pages and had them emailed to you all for the encouragement of reviewing them to bring forth any questions you may have. There's nothing remarkable about our financial condition or your financial condition in Westminster. The first page that has the listing of the due to promise, that's a common question. How much do we have available in all of our different reserves? That singular page gives you the answer to that question.
That's on the first page of the somewhat smaller stack.
Yeah. That is a page that at the top reads, General Ledger, current year, period 5, and it lists a bunch of accounts that just say due to from. And each fund is named, page 1 of 1. And the intention there, from an accounting standpoint, they have to sum to zero. If somebody is owed, someone else has to claim they're owed. That is not, when you look at the top one that says general fund, a negative $2,075,910.59. That doesn't mean you're out of money. That just means of the 2.7 million you have in the checkbook, 2.075 million of it is owed to other funds. But you've got 2.7 in your checkbook today, which is the top line of the next page. Like I said, there's nothing remarkable about any of these financials. You are, if you will, 33% through the year. And some of the budget line items are 50% or more because they only get billed once a year, or in some cases twice a year, and others are on track. Again, nothing remarkable. Steve.
Can you alert us to anything as we approach the end of the year that is a fund which we had intended to use or had budgeted to use, and we've forgotten to?
Neglected to do what?
Neglected to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these do represent tasks to be done, whether they're bridge or they're a community development or something. Is there something that stands out here as, oops, we forgot to do something?
So, if I will, I happened to catch only a brief about the roof on this building, $2,500 or something like that. And the motion was made to take it out of contingency. You have a contingency fund of $150,000, which we replenished from FEMA money. But I don't think that was necessary. You already voted to do it. And that was because in the general fund, you have building maintenance of $20,000 already there, which during budgeting, we talked about painting one side of this building.
Sorry.
Yep.
I don't think we voted to pay for the roof out of the contingency fund. We voted to pay for the repairs to,
Something else?
sorry, the
Yes,
road.
so the full brook
Yes,
culvert damage
Thank you.
Yeah.
by the
Okay.
emergency contingency fund.
So, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's
If it
the
came
minutes
out of
there.
the contingency fund, it wasn't meant to.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So those are examples of, with the broader picture of the financials, a motion would be made to use what you have, and in terms of your highway, you have money.
Yep.
And you have even more. Other features, the state of Vermont normally distributes state aid to highways on a quarterly basis. They have given you all 4 quarters for the fiscal year upfront through October 31st. And if I'm not mistaken, they may have even given you an additional sum of money towards state aid to highways. All of this relates to what happened in July. And the state was trying to help towns with cash flow. And there are still communities who are flat out of money. You're not one of them.
do you happen to know if that includes grant monies
How about Pine Banks?
for the Fulham Brook?
No, I haven't seen anything
Okay,
from that.
all right.
We did get an additional 32 or 39,000 in FEMA money came in.
Mhm.
So, and within this fiscal year, we had to expense 9,300 for the culvert up by the cemetery. And so you still have 32 in FEMA that we can move and use.
What was that?
The 9,300?
No, the 30 something, was that still from 2
That's
years ago?
still
Yeah,
from
that's
2 years
still
ago.
the FEMA events from 2 years ago. Yes,
And so,
I think that's done now.
Do we have
No.
any outstanding FEMA projects
yes.
left? So,
Yeah.
Whoever's
Well,
logging
no,
in
not,
can-
it's an administrative project.
oh, they can't, the close it like this.
It's,
About 50 grand now.
that's what their estimate was.
Yeah.
It's based upon mileage, time people have spent in meetings, time people have spent like filing paperwork and that sort of thing.
But so
That
that's,
from road projects.
So the
That
road
was the
projects are
last for the
done.
road
that's straight,
projects.
that's figured out and
Yeah,
done.
road projects are done.
Okay.
Almost.
For that event from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Correct.
So now it's just figuring out the administrative
Piece.
fees and.
In terms of looking at these numbers, balance sheets are simple. We are on a modified cash basis, meaning we only recognize a liability when we get the money and it's not ours. But otherwise, everything is reported as a cash event in this town by choice. And so as a result, the balance sheet's quite simple. What you have are assets, what you owe are liabilities, what you're worth is fund balance. The details of what backs up the current year fund balance is revenues less expenditures in the budget status report. That's the 32 pages that followed all of the balance sheets. And again, nothing remarkable about any of this. We did, before last fiscal year, close a few bank accounts and consolidate into one checkbook. That has reaped us somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 times more interest, even though all we did was go to 1.5%, because everything was under 0.01, 0.015%. So we weren't making anything on those probably $700,000 sitting over there in these special reserves.
Can I ask a quick question on the ARPA number?
Yes.
489,000.
Yeah.
That's what is
Left.
Does that include commitments that we've made but not paid for yet?
I don't know any,
Okay.
I don't know
I
about
can't-
any of
I'm just-
those,
I
right?
don't know if there is either.
So one of the ways you
Because I thought
can,
that number was closer to 3 something.
I think this is right, because I think the only commitments the board has made that haven't been paid yet.
I can't
I
remember the
think,
last
I
one we
think
did,
that
so.
they did the church, Oh, were you here
Oh,
for
right.
the church?
Yeah.
That was done.
Yeah, that's done. We've paid
Since
that.
we're uncertain, save time, is there a way we can find out exactly what we got? Or what the
In
commitments
terms
are?
of cash, that's what you.
Well, no, well, we're already
For
committed
equipment,
to make sure this is the right number.
That would require going back through minute meetings of what you committed to that hasn't yet to
We need to
be
do.
paid for.
Yeah.
And either somebody has that and wrote or better read minutes.
Okay.
Because it was a handful of meetings ago, but that number was in the 340,000 range. So that's
Very possible, so we should get the right number.
Just
Yeah.
curious.
We should get the right number.
On the reappraisal fund, of course, we're doing a reappraisal. That's 202.
Mhm.
That clearly represents an action item that we need to do. And that's money sitting there to be used for reappraisal.
Yes. Yes, specifically.
Yeah.
That is under the discretion of the board for contracting.
Mhm.
And you have that in reserve to pay those bills.
Just quickly while we're on the subject, and did we say we were gonna bid that out or not? Or to reappraise the,
Yes, the listers were supposed to come before us.
No, we did,
We're gonna send out a letter and collect bids.
yeah,
And they were going to make a recommendation, but we have not seen that yet.
and it would, by the time everything was all said and done, it'd be like 25 before it was actually
Correct.
done.
but Steve, you, forgive me, you want, this is an action item, I get the impression you want to act on soon.
I think we want to do a reappraisal as soon as we have the information. Okay. I mean, we have the money, hopefully enough, and we have a job to do. It would be appropriate to get it done. I mean, we're required to get it done as well, so we got to get it done at some point.
Well,
And
the
it's
issue,
supposed to sit
the
on.
issue was, there's only so many companies
Yes.
do it,
Yeah,
and you're gonna have to get in line.
and, yeah, and that's true, and we may accept a bid from a company, and they may say, fine, we'll do it in 2025. But at least we want to be in the line.
Yes, no, I agree.
We're not quite in the line at this point.
Yes.
Will there be a time when we will debate this as to cost and expediency?
I thought let's just bring it to us.
Let's just bring it to us, and we say, well, that's a good idea, and there's your 3 bids, and we take one.
Very good.
And I
But
know
we-
they had reached out to some companies, but I don't know
The
where
result.
it's at.
But maybe we need to prod the listers
Yes.
to get that to us,
I
because
agree.
it's a reminder to me that
Yes.
that's a job, big job, contentious job, that actually needs to get done.
And I think you'll find that with a full-time town manager coming on board, these types of things are
It's
going to be
good.
drawn to the eye and say, oh, the listers, I need to check with them again, check with them again.
Mhm.
So there's, if you will, not a prodding, but an inquiring. Do you need help with this? Do you need help writing an RFP? Do you
It's
need?
actually doing his job,
Yeah.
or her, his or her.
The hard and the difficult part in our type of representative government is that all the power is lineal. There's not a hierarchy. Listers are elected, and the manager can assist but cannot direct.
Well said.
Been there, done that. Any others as you look down through, the bridge fund we've talked about, you contribute 15,000 a year, but you've got the 121 bridge you're gonna be responsible for.
Town garage,
And a couple others.
town garage,
Huh?
town garage.
Town garage, 63,000 sitting in the town garage, we're buying a bay door.
I don't know, but it's,
Yeah, so
That's
part of,
that's the normal,
and as you were
that's just
asking
normal
about
maintenance for the
ARPA,
building.
you do have a time constraint on ARPA to make.
yes,
And it's this time of year, next year,
yes.
September, October, that report's got to be submitted. You've got to have said, this is what we're doing with it. And by 2026, actually having spent it.
Yes.
So, to me, that's a time is of the essence
Mhm.
to be buttoning that thing. There are some others out there that are minuscule amounts of money. The Emergency Management Fund was originally put together during the Vermont Yankee years. got $7,000 in it. Could that be, does that still need to be, who's gonna be our emergency management director? And does that position need to have a trailer and supplies ready, or is there something to use that for? There's a lot of those type of funds just sitting out there. The tricentennial committee with $250. Did you already have that? Have you had that and it's over? The recreation committee's got $1,000. So these are all things that have developed over the years, and their purpose may have ceased to exist. And so each of those can be looked at. And a good time to deal with that is before you get to a fiscal year end, so you can take action on it, and it simplifies the audit.
So if the rec committee is intending of putting up a kiosk at the swimming hole, then be nice if they did it, used it up, and smoothed out the audit process.
Well, it's an accounting function that keeps saying, began with, ended with, net change, goose egg. Meaning, we got it, we've done nothing. We've done nothing, we've done nothing. And so if there's
But
intention.
a goose egg could represent the work done. Yeah.
No, that would be the remaining. The change in goose egg would be minus 1,000. Carry forward, 0. That's what I would
Carry
like.
forward 0 means
You've done,
done.
you're done.
To a certain extent, we want to be done. We want to use that ARPA money. We want to
Yes,
not have money just hanging for you to watch, but do nothing.
right. Well, and if there was an intent, then getting those intentions fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yes,
I made a note the luminaries could use the activities money. Or at least, well, it seems to be there's a question, I think.
What's it called? The
Activities.
activities.
so you do have in your regular general fund budget, $1,000 line item labeled, I think, as rec committee. And I don't know, since I've been involved here, that I've seen anything spent out of that.
That's two different things. The rec committee is like the swimming hole,
Yeah.
Northbrook type thing.
That's what I thought.
Activities used to be fairly active. It was like Doreen Kelton and a couple of different people. I don't know.
Dempsey Potter.
Yeah, I don't know if they do.
I don't
much
think
anymore.
they've met since COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Is it one of these things here? I don't see it. I'll call it activities.
So that's partly why the encouragement was to read through these, and if you're not sure what it is, then we need to find out either as a group or have somebody research. This was established when and what, and is its purpose even still needed? If it was established by the voters, it has to be closed by the voters. Most of these probably established by an action of the board or someone who was the treasurer. But I said, nothing significant about these. 23 audit, December 4th. I will be here with Sullivan Powers, the new manager, Hallie, and I'm hoping that we can button it up. Everything that they had requested was sent to them in PDF 3-4 months ago. And I've been inquiring, and finally I got it out of them to come and be here. So I hope that can be buttoned up so that we can have a statement in the thing. The audit's been complete.
Nope, sometimes when it's not there.
It's just going to be a paragraph, the audit's complete.
Whatever.
So, yeah, that's, like I said, it's not a lot. We did quite well. We're only $243,000 of principal left on the first payment for the current tax year. We got just under $4 million to collect for the second payment. The school has been paid 50%, highway's been given 50%, all of our recreations have been paid 50%. So we're in good stead.
So you don't see anything alarming that we,
No. And quite frankly, the staff here pays the bills, does the payroll, does all the reporting, and I sit down and read the financials before I show up here. And nothing stands out. I'd still log on to online banking and still make sure that when the money comes through, identify what it is. Book the interest and reconciliation, the three main accounts are reconciled through October 31st. And so I'm comfortable with what the numbers are saying. So you're in great shape. And now that you have a manager shortly, hopefully we can move even quicker than we have been. So that's it for me. If you do have any questions, you have my email account to rifle in and ask. Otherwise, starting whenever the managers go through the manager so that for information. The last topic that I'll bring about financials is budget sessions. And I'm going to presume the last time that I worked with you folks, I gave you spreadsheets that were just line numbers, so everybody could just say, go to this line number, and so we'll repeat that exercise.
Great.
And probably the easiest thing is to start with whatever this year's budget is, repeat it into next year, and then start talking. And you can look through line by line and say, this should go, this should go down. I know next year we are going to have a major election, and so we want to make sure that our election expense, we compensate for the employee changes in salaries, benefits, are areas we have to look at. I'm hoping the new manager can come in, hit the ground running with understanding budget process. And if so, I will load them so full. So it'll be great. And like I said, it'll be great having a full-time manager being able to assist you and work with the public and work with the staff. And I really want to express my appreciation to Ally for all of her efforts in working with me throughout this process for you folks.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Not a problem, I got a lunch out of it.
That was a big lunch for that time of year, too.
Never come in on a Thursday when Allen Brothers is open.
Wow.
All right, then I'll get out of your way.
thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
sir.
Again, congratulations.
We'll see you towards the end of the month.
If you want to plan the 29th as a budget session, then we'll get prepped for a budget session on the 29th.
I like that idea.
And again, depending upon the new manager's experience, I may or may not need to be here.
Okay. I'll let you discuss it with him.
He can make the decision. All right, thank you, folks.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. See you.
Drive safe.
All right, moving on, well, we're good with the financial discussion, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to beaver deceiver discussion. So as a board, we have already voted, made motions, voted, approved installation of two beaver deceivers. There was a little bit
No.
of,
We did not.
We already
oh,
approved
we didn't,
one.
oh, we only approved one? Sorry.
One on Henwood Railroad.
Oh, for the,
Purchase and installation of one on Henwood Railroad.
We hadn't yet approved for the one in the backside of the marsh, the lower, that controls the level of the marsh, on Elm
brothers.
Brook's actual land.
Okay,
I don't know why we would have any say over someone's private land, what we can do.
Well, we can spend money on their behalf.
right, there had been discussion about placing a second one at that meeting. Sorry, I did not bring a copy of the minutes, about if Tim Allen was okay with that, that it would come out of the highway budget, correct? Is am I remembering this correct?
I thought the Conservation Commission had received a grant for one,
Yes, that was for one.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
and then Chuck got approval to spend whatever on one for Henwood Hill,
No,
or no?
Just the opposite. The Conservation Commission is going to put one on Henwood Hill culvert crossover. And we were gonna take money out of the culvert budget and put one on the outlet end of Allen's Marsh.
and that's what keeps the marsh pond from flooding the road.
Well, so they're both gonna have to work with each other for that to all work, because you know, one side, that's exactly right. It's gonna keep the level from one side of the road to the other. I have talked to every abutting landowner, they're all for it. I've gotten a permit from wetlands, I've talking to Fish and Wildlife, I'm talking to stream alteration, and I've got a permit to alter the level of the marsh up to 2 feet from its historic level, which is the invert of the existing road culvert.
So,
But we don't have the permission from a private landowner.
Yes, all landowners.
Chuck has
Tim
written,
Allen,
he's getting written permission.
ATG,
Okay, something has changed then, because Tim, after that meeting, Tim called me wound tighter than a 10-day clock. He called Dan, wound tighter.
Right.
Greg called me wound tight, so I
He con-
haven't heard anything since, so I don't.
right, so I went and talked to,
Larry. Yeah, sorry.
I went and talked to Tim. What Tim wanted was, he wanted to hear something from wetlands. Tim has had a hard time
No doubt.
from wetlands, right?
Yeah.
So I got a permit from wetlands, from Elizabeth, on the bank, her last name is Bailey. So I emailed that to him, I forwarded that to him. He said, "That's all I wanted." I don't even know how you did that, he said. He said, and it's all I wanted.
Yeah, that's what I
Great.
understood too, he was waiting to hear from that.
So I went to Judd's and I explained to them what was going on. I went to Paul Harlow, explained to him what we wanted to do and was asking for his blessing. I didn't tell him this is what we were doing. I made it clear that I wanted their input.
Do you have this stuff in writing?
So I've sent emails to all those people and I've yet to get any back because it just seems like the way it goes, but I have talked to all
It'd
of
be
them
nice to
personally.
have it like in a file that they all came on, so if there's no miscommunication.
At the end of the day, we've got a permit in the state of
Yeah.
Vermont that says you can do this.
And we need to go onto Tim Allen's land to put it in, right? Somebody, the contractor needs to go onto Tim Allen's land.
We need to go through ATV's land, the truck company,
Oh,
ATG, rather,
Yeah, so we should get something in writing
Which-
from them.
which we will have before
Yeah,
we do
before we do
anything.
it.
I've sent an email to them down here, and Nate is supposed to respond, and the answer I got was, I've been really busy. Well, go ahead and do what you want to do. Well, yeah, I know that, but still.
We need it in
I
writing.
had this fantasy I was gonna have all
Write
these
it before,
emails
and just
before
have them
tonight.
sign it. You know, Write it something simple, and
Just to-
just so we have it in file.
Well, that's what I did. I
Well,
was
yeah,
trying to
that
make
was-
it easy. I did all that. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyway. So that's where we're at.
Sounds good.
So
Thank you.
do we want to wait till we have written permission?
Yes.
Yes.
From everybody? Okay.
Well, I don't know if we need from everyone, but definitely from ATG, because we have to cross their property.
Right.
Otherwise, as long as we send a thing out and they haven't, that was up to them to respond, they didn't respond, but we gotta cross their property, we need to have something written in
Right.
a file.
So we'll table it
We don't want to approve the expenditure
until we have permission.
pending permission. We want to get the permission first.
Can we at
Because we
least
can do that.
approve the one on the road that is in our right of way?
Yeah.
So they can get started on that part.
I think that we already have.
Well, okay, I
We
just
are-
want
yeah,
to, I just
we
want to
did- we did
clarify.
that one, no?
And I will see what I can do about getting that expedited.
I would think we
Get that
could approve
permission for the other part.
I think we did.
Contingent that we have that in writing,
Then it
then
meets
we
the
don't have to,
project.
then Chuck just gets in writing and ready to go.
And we don't have to come back to us again.
Right, exactly, does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm open to that.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that we approve the beaver deceiver of the ATG land pending, and the expenditure of the money on that pending a written permission from the landowner. And does this,
It's not on their land, we have to go through their.
It's on Tim's land, but we
Yeah,
gotta
so
go through their
the
land to
permission
get to it.
To cross ATG's land to get to this.
yes, I see, it's
Yeah,
on
so-
Tim's land.
Yes.
That's all
But it has
Tim,
to-
they should get written permission.
So we need written
We should
permission
get
from
written
Tim,
permission from
Yes.
Tim
Tim as
and
well.
ATG.
And I'll second that, Millie.
Thank you.
And when we have that, the amount of a beaver receiver does not exceed our purchasing policy bid spec. It's under $10,000, and this is about 5, right?
Second.
So so we won't have to run into a bidding situation, since there's only one vendor anyway.
Sure. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the installation and expenditure for a beaver deceiver to be placed on Tim Allen's property pending written permission and approval from ATG and Tim Allen. And we want to include abutting landowners.
Yes.
Okay, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well,
Good.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
will forward that, as soon as I get it, I'll forward an
Yeah.
email to
Yep.
everybody, so y'all have it at the same time.
Yeah, as soon as we have that, go do
I
it.
don't think,
So I think
Don't wait
you,
for the others.
Well,
I don't think we even need it downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs needs it. Yeah, just
okay.
get it to the town manager.
you said written permission from Tim Allen too, right?
yes.
Thank you.
I'd like to say something from my family.
Yes.
Thank you very much for making this meeting this time. It's been a long haul and going through a lot of avenues and talking to people and getting the state approval, so thank you very much.
No problem.
Yeah, we really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah, I'm part of that beaver working group, and, I'm trying to get people to live compatibly with beavers, so this is a really important part.
Thank you. All right, moving on to planning commission member discussion. So Stephen had asked at the last select board meeting if he could be, rather than a select board alternate, if we could appoint him to be a member of the planning commission. So I reached out to VLCT, and the response I got from Carl Andier, who is a staff attorney with VLCT, said that select board members can serve as full planning commission members, assuming that there's no town policy prohibiting such. And I am not aware of one myself. I looked. I didn't see anything. If anybody knows of anything, please speak up. The only other thing would be if there were other potential conflicts. If he was, say, the zoning administrator or on the development review board, that might be, but he was not. So,
The only thing you'd have to do is recuse yourself if the planning commission brought something to the board for approval or.
Oh, I see,
Right.
yes, when the planning
If that
commission.
happened.
Yeah, so I'm not voting on approval of my own
Correct.
Right.
subcommittee's stuff.
right, on your
Fair.
own town plan.
Yeah, that's very appropriate.
Plus with the,
Town plan, yeah. I mean, when the town plan comes forward, I guess
Right.
that would be that too.
plus with our new town manager, I'm sure we could, that's one of the priorities for you is to fill that committee as quickly as possible.
So
Yeah.
Do you want to make a motion to appoint?
let's make a motion. I'll make a
So
motion.
moved, I'll
You
do,
make the.
so moved, motion to appoint, Stephen Major as a interim member,
Just remember.
member of the planning commission.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're abstaining. All right,
Congratulations.
Hooray.
right.
I was going to meetings anyway, and then they're online, and I was assuming it was Monday, and I went on Zoom, I sat there,
By
waiting,
yourself.
and then I looked at the date, and it was actually the wrong one. Thanks,
All right,
Monday.
moving on to the Putney Food Shelf.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I have a memo that, there's copies for everyone.
Okay, thank you.
It, the fleshes out with figures,
the letter that I sent to the select board.
Thank you.
So the Putney Food Shelf has put together a petition asking to have a funding request put on the warning because a number of people from Westminster, the visits from households in Westminster are significant. I'll let you read this and then we can have questions.
Would you like
Oh, sorry, Nancy Olson.
Okay, thanks, Nancy.
I'm a member of the Putney Food Shelf Board. And I live in Putney.
It's basically saying that Westminster had, it's the third highest town in the utilization of Putney Food Shelf after Putney and Brattleboro. Of course, we're much smaller than Brattleboro, and our utilization is higher than Dummerston, and it was 953. Is that 953 households or household uses, like 953 times a household for Westminster came and got food?
That is 953 times a household from Westminster.
Came in and received food.
And, yeah, so because we have been founded on the principle of reducing stigma and preserving human dignity, we do not ask for proof of residence or proof of income. Our mission states that anyone, if a person comes to the food shelf looking for food, then they get it. So our numbers are duplicated, but a household is a household.
So that, the average is 2.58 people per household.
Yeah, so a household might be 1 or 2 people, and up to 5 or 6.
That clarifies on that.
Okay.
And not, the same households don't necessarily shop every week.
Yeah, right.
And 20 households were new to our food shelf in the past year.
For the benefit of Fact TV, could you tell us where it's located?
Yes, the
and
Putney
what
Food
hours
Shelf
are?
is housed in the Putney Community Center at 10 Kristen Square in Putney, Vermont.
And when is it open?
It is open on Friday afternoons from 1:30 to 3:30, and Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. to 10:30. And people are encouraged to shop once a week, not more than once a week. So if you come on Friday, then that's it. Please don't come on Saturday too.
Is this something that we could add to a town meeting warning? That we give other funds to other services around, you know what I mean?
That's what this is, a petition.
Oh, that's what it's asking.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
that would save me having to get 137 signatures.
No, okay. No,
Which would be really great.
I interpreted it as you were looking for that right now. I
Well,
thought.
I would love to look for it right now.
I'm sorry, I should read the whole thing before I
But we can certainly bypass the petition process for her.
That would be lovely.
As select board, we can do that, and put it on the warrant.
I'm certainly all for that. This is, what you do is incredibly important, and I think it's underappreciated. And thank you for being out there and making these efforts for those members of the community that desperately need your help. So all I can say is thank you. I mean, 1,000% support for this. And
Thank you. Yeah, we're very grateful because the numbers are increasing. Before the pandemic, it's not in the memo, but before the pandemic, just for your information, before the pandemic, Putney Food Shelf was serving about 45 households a week. The past 3 weeks, we have served 180 households in a weekend. It's just
may I ask
staggering.
one quick question, Nancy?
Yes.
traditionally, this is something that's involved in New York City especially. But we would collect, though, of, canned goods and everything else. Is that not something that's done anymore, or?
It's not done the
Yeah,
same
food
way. Because of the variety of materials that you get in that situation, we source most of our food from the Vermont Food Bank so that we can consistently get 100 of X and not 3 of this, 4 of that, 1 of those. And that seems to be the most efficient way to do it. Yeah, so, and we do.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency and quantity, similar thing. We also try to buy from local vendors, local farmers, as often as possible. We got a grant from the Vermonters Feeding Vermonters grant to get winter greens, for example. So we buy from a local farmer who grows winter greens, and that's been hugely important for for people who visit us.
Do you still accept those, if that comes in, if someone showed up and said, look,
Yeah.
I've got, $1,000 worth of, stored canned food that's still good,
Yes,
you will take that?
yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This, just doing a quick math, this request in this petition for 2,398, I believe, with the servings served in Westminster 2,460, comes to 97 cents a serving. That's pretty good.
Really good.
That's really, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you do it, but that's good.
Really good.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
How much is the amount that you're requesting from the town? I didn't do that.
$2,398 is the way I figured it. I took, as you can see, that the total number of households from Westminster is 17% of the total number of households that Putney Food Shelf served for the year. And so the townspeople of Putney give us a certain amount, and that's 31% of their share of the food costs. So I did the same thing for Westminster. I took 17% of Westminster's share of the food costs, and then 31% of that, because that's the same percentage of quantity as Putney gives us, 31% of their total. So that's how I figured it. So,
Do we need a motion to add this to?
Yes.
Yes.
So moved.
We have a question.
Yeah, Pauline?
you're muted.
Okay. No, I'm not questioning any of this. I'm questioning, because I support this, but I'm wondering if this is being presented as an article for the town vote, or if this is something that the select board can just approve arbitrarily. But in my experience, it would be something that would be a petition, become an article to be voted on. That's my experience. So which I will support and I will absolutely assist with, but that's where I'm at as town clerk.
And so the select board can put a petition, to put an article on the town warning. And petition drive can also put an article on the town warning. If we take action and vote here tonight to put this request as an article.
As an article, okay.
It doesn't need to be a petition drive to do the same thing.
It would not need a petition drive?
Don't need a petition drive. It is the select board who is choosing to put this as an article on the town meeting. And typically, when we do that, we're also essentially endorsing it as well as a. Okay,
that was a clarification that I needed. Thank you.
Okay. And this would be that scenario where if we put it on if it's on 3 years in a row, it becomes part of
The budget.
the budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So moved.
Thank you.
I just want to be clear, you are, wherever it says, you are,
We're approving an article for the town
for
warrant.
Putney Food Shelf of $2,398 as a contribution towards the cost of serving Westminster residents, something like that is the motion. Okay. Thank you.
Motion, somebody seconded, right?
I'll think.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
One thing on that though,
Yeah.
is because it's an article, there may be people at town meeting that would have a question about
Oh,
that.
yes, yes,
So
so.
if somebody
it
could
needs
be
to there.
available,
Yeah,
Yes,
that would
please.
be helpful.
yes, thank you, yes, that's a good reminder.
And your little
Yeah, or
information sheet put on the
Yeah.
back of the people pick up information sheets about
Oh, okay,
articles
okay,
in the back. So having a lot of copies of these
okay.
on the back, or
Just
something
this.
similar.
And on the back table, when
Oh,
people
yeah,
pick up their
there-
stuff?
there's a, I moved, we may be in trouble this year,
We
because we usually meet in the Bells Falls Auditorium, which is closed.
And now we're not.
Oh, right.
We don't actually have to cross that bridge, have we?
No.
We can just have our manager call your people, our people call your people, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I mean, we don't sense hashing it out right now,
No,
we'll
no.
figure it
We'll
out.
figure it
That
out.
is something we're gonna figure out, is where to meet.
Yes.
Well,
You're not gonna- there's a-
we don't figure anything out, yeah.
so you're saying I should make copies of this to have available for voters, and someone should be there to represent.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Precisely, yep.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very helpful.
Thank you for all of you.
Small, it's good.
All right. Moving on to the Route 5 bike path survey. So the state of, there's a printout in your packet that's was sent to me. The state of Vermont is working on a project. Essentially, they had mentioned the bike committee had kind of hinted at it at the last meeting, going from Canada through Vermont along Route 5. So I need to respond to this survey by the 17th. The questions that they've asked here, they want the planning commission to respond and the select board chair. So I would like,
Authorization to respond?
well, input if you want to provide any.
Yeah,
Well, I don't want to speak for you, Kevin.
You guys heard me last time, I'm completely supportive. Right, was that last meeting?
No, this is a different, this is Route 5, this is,
this is
road.
yep, different road,
this is the state, this is Route
State.
5.
Got it.
This is in front of your house.
yeah.
Yeah, your house,
This
You're gonna have a water stop at your house.
good.
A little,
You mean one of these?
a little faucet.
Your real estate's gonna be
10 more miles.
30%.
I bike on Route 5, with Katie, and I think it's a great idea.
I mean, I felt like I could answer these questions, but I also didn't want to answer them on behalf of everybody without input.
Well, saving having each of us go through it all and give them all to you, I sort of fill it out in the minute.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You-
Do
We're
that.
in a meeting, all right.
Yep.
You want a
Okay.
date certain for when you want them?
I need to respond by
November
the
17th, yeah.
So,
We can give you these papers.
Yeah, so
okay, when
Let
is
me-
the 17th?
that's just over a week,
Okay,
9 days.
so if you all want to respond by next Wednesday, that'd be totally awesome. Okay,
Yep,
all right,
yep.
thank you. Any questions about the survey? All right. Moving on to the town manager contract. So he has signed it. We have discussed it. No reason to go into executive session, correct?
Nope.
I'll make a motion to approve and sign the employment contract for Louis Bordeaux as written.
Second.
Could I have a spelling?
Oh, I can't do
Yep.
that.
Yep, I can.
B-O.
Hold on, I have to write it down.
Approve and sign.
B-O-U-R-D-E-A-U-X.
I'm sorry.
Just like the one.
B-O-U-R-D-E-A-U-X.
We're actually getting a town manager now.
Approve and sign the employment contract. For Louis, and it's L-O-U-I-S.
Lewis, yes,
I read-
L-O-U-I-S.
Okay. That was Jason. Was there a second? I'm sorry.
Kevin.
Kevin, thank you.
Motion has been made and seconded. No further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Town manager.
Hey.
His first day is Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline, for everything you've done as well.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that was awesome. Road foreman's report.
So we've been, blowing leaves, continuing grading. We've been doing quite a lot of work on Milinkovich Road. We've got permission to do a turnaround before the house at the top. There's been several times where we've had to bring it a mile back down the road because, residents tying up the area.
Not me.
Not you. And, so anyway, we came to an agreement. We were able to do the ditching, use that material to create a turnaround. And, they finished that up today. We've got to finish grading that. We just got word today that the Fulham Brook Culvert, the state is going to award us a grant. They're going to pay for 90% of that. We don't know yet what that's going to look like, whether it's going to be a box culvert or a bridge. Once we get the hydraulic study back and that's all confirmed, this was from the state engineer. Once everything's confirmed, then we'll figure out what it is that we're going to do. Years ago, there was a bridge there. My gut tells me that probably as deep as that is and the way it is, I wouldn't be surprised if the state told us that that was the direction to go. Of course, a bridge, anything over 20 feet long, the maintenance is assisted by the state. So a box culvert is on us. A bridge, we get some help. So it's not a bad, people say, well, not necessarily a bad thing, especially on a dirt road where it doesn't see salt. They tend to last longer. Other than that, tonight, we're gonna have a little weather. Guys are gonna come in tonight, they're gonna pre-salt. So before you even start to see precipitation, we're gonna be up and out salt. Confuses people, they're like, what the hell are they doing? The idiots know it's not even raining yet. Well, we do. Yeah. We're gonna try to get ahead of it and, get a little material down, so as soon as the freezing rain hits, it'll start to activate and keep it from blazing over.
Aren't the roads warm enough so that it really won't?
The asphalt is not, the dirt roads are, but your asphalt is not. As soon as that cold rain hits the asphalt, it will turn into sheet ice.
Is there, are you using salt or that brine spray on stuff that the
No,
state uses?
well, we use salt, because what we do is we use salt in the, we pre-treat our salt with chloride, so it doesn't take as much salt to do the same job. And it activates at lower temperatures. To do brine, it's just not feasible. I looked into it. For us to
More
do
equipment
that.
and stuff.
What's that?
You need different equipment.
Well, we need different equipment, and to buy the brine is a lot more money. So it's,
And is there a competing byproduct, other than the brine that's used, a brewer's or something byproduct that's been?
nothing that's as cost-effective or that works as well. I mean, they try using brewer's mash and
Brewer's mash,
molasses
yes,
and all
that's-
kinds of different things. We worked with a product for a while. that was lignin sulfate, which was the byproduct of the paper making process that came from trees. And none of it, we used twice as much, twice as often, and it cost a lot more money. And at the end of the day, it wasn't any better for the environment. So we found that if we used less, we were out there less, and it was working twice as well. So until they come up with something better, I guess.
I do want to say on the road foreman issues that I was pretty impressed with the level of communication with the landowner at the top of Langfish Road, that Dave Helmkamp, who's a seasonal landowner, a seasonal visitor, but that you caught him, which is hard to do. He's not up very often, and managed to arrange a very significant project in his front yard, and with a favorable interaction with him. And I think, perhaps in contrast to our morning meeting, it was, that was good property owner communication to get that done.
Did you have a clarification question?
We have a grant for 90% of the work, but we don't know what the work is.
Correct.
And the state engineer has a name or no?
He does, Mark Pickering.
Thank you.
I think what he meant was we don't know the scope of the project, or the scale of the project.
Correct. We won't know until we get a hydraulic study back, and that's
If
when
it's a
we're going to
bridge or a
determine
culvert.
what we're going to do. The important thing is, no matter what they decide, they're willing to pay for 90% of it.
That's awesome.
So,
That makes it a lot easier to figure out.
as ridiculous as it sounds, that was kind of a godsend that happened, because this is something that probably needed to be done anyway, and is a beautiful way to fund it.
Mhm. Any other questions for Chuck?
I have a comment. Ms. Collins here. I just wanted to say that the road, dirt roads are looking great.
Thank you.
Really good. We're really pleased. That road and stuff. Whatever you're doing there.
Keep it up.
Material, yeah, the rolling, yeah, very
I
good.
appreciate it.
So, yeah.
Well, that brings another comment. Speaking about rolling, the roller is having some issues. It's got a check engine light, and of course, we bought this roller with conjunction with Rockingham, and we bought it from Nortrax. Nortrax is no longer a dealer for that roller. So the closest place is down by Boston to, they're gonna have to come look at it. They've got to plug it into their computer. I've called Rockingham, they're gonna pay for that because they have an account with that dealer. So the dealer's gonna come out, I have no idea what's wrong with it.
The tractor's not a Bowman dealer anymore?
No. So it comes back as a low oil pressure, but it's really, that's not the issue, so. I'll keep you posted.
I suggest you put a little piece of black paper on our check engine.
Yeah. That works really, well, the problem is, and that's fine, the problem is, it's derated, so whatever's going on with it is serious enough, so the computer has shut the engine down, and it's not giving it full power, and it's like, we're done.
You can only get away with tape for so long.
Yeah, exactly right, yeah.
We're past tape. All right, moving on. We are not having an executive session, so Kevin, this is your request.
Yes, and thanks to a fellow board member. So recently, the Vermont State Ethics Commission is providing a series of interactions with the public. One has already been missed, and one for all municipal officials. This has to do with the establishment of the State Board of Ethics Commission by our legislature in 2022. As I said briefly earlier, we were one of only 4 states without this, and received the lowest grade, which was a failure in ethics in government. I find this to be extremely timely, and they have set up 2 more interactive meetings, and I would like the move board authorize me for the following. November 21st, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a remote Zoom session will be set up for all municipal officials, elected or otherwise, to interact and provide their comments as to what needs to be done in ethics in government. And if, I'm not sure when the Gazette publishes, do we know?
The deadline is for December, is pretty close,
You know, Millie, what date would come out?
1st of December.
Okay, so they will have a second interactive for everyone again, including members of the public, on November 28th, 2023, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. I move to have the authorization to submit this notice on behalf of the select board to the Gazette, and also your permission, since I'm on all those other boards, to simply forward this out, notifying everyone that this is occurring and that they could participate in the upcoming events on the 21st and or the 28th.
So it's either or?
You could do the 21st is for select board people, members of government, but the 28th is for everybody, members of the public. And it really is worthwhile. And you certainly want to familiarize yourself, with the State Ethics Commission, because it's going to become an incredibly important and powerful player in not just state government, but local government going forward. So I would like your permission to go ahead and craft something to send this out.
Motion, make a motion?
You make a motion?
Yes. Well, ideally.
I don't know if I could make a motion to reword all that. What do we want to do?
Give permission.
I'll make a motion to give permission to Kevin Hughes to,
On behalf of the board.
on behalf of the board, to attend the municipal ethics.
Actually, all I want to do is send it out. All I want to do is send it out to the public so they're aware of it.
Okay.
And to all of you and everyone else in government, in our government, because I'm on all these emails.
No, say yes.
Just say yes.
To just put it out there to the
Just put
public
it out
that
there.
that these meetings are
Perfectly fine.
happening, that you guys agreed. Okay, great.
So I'll send it out to you guys as soon as it is. Okay? Thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
But I think if you look in the Gazette, there's a column that says when the submissions are due.
Yes.
And what the public.
I was just curious though when it comes out,
Oh,
because if the 28th is going to be the last day for the public, I'm not sure if it comes out by the 28th.
no, I don't know that.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
it's probably close.
I was just gonna say, if you want to send me an email, if you want, I can put it on my Facebook page also.
That'd be great. Yeah, I'll send it to everybody.
So you'll send this out to all the boards?
I've got your email. I'll send it out to everybody. I've got most people's email.
All right, errors and omissions. Good at those.
I'm gonna miss these.
I know. I'm gonna miss having you do them.
Okay, don't pay for that. We know you're not gonna miss it. Okay,
Excuse me, I have a question.
yes.
Does Vermont score an F because we don't have an ethics statute or whatever it is, or because we've done something wrong?
A good question. Can I give you what they provided, and I can give you the email too, so you see it, but real quick, that's a great question. It was conducted by the Center for Public Integrity for Governmental Ethics Enforcement and Accountability. Our General Assembly because we were one of 4 states that did not have a statute online, a statute that actually was accountable, felt that, yeah, we failed because we don't have not only a way to measure it, but also an actual standard by which to measure. So that's a fair question. And the fact that we got an F might be simply because also that we didn't have a standard or a specific guideline on what we should be following.
We failed by definition of not having a commission. So if you define that as a failure, doesn't mean that the town government or the state government agencies are particularly unethical or not. It just meant that there wasn't a commission. And this came out in the news some time ago.
And I in no way, shape, or form was I, and if I did, I do apologize. I'm not in any way trying to insinuate or that I'm impugning the integrity of anyone in government. I just that this is now a very powerful commission, and it's going to become more and more a part, not just at the state level, but it's going to come all the way down here.
Yeah, I remember when that came before the legislature and the Senate in Montpelier, and there was actually back pressure about forming this ethics these standards that, oh, you know, we do it fine, and I found that really interesting, but obviously they pushed through opposed to it.
Well, to a certain extent, if the press, the press release is Vermont fails, but the definition is because it doesn't have a commission, it is honestly insulting. If you're saying that Vermont fails in its ethics, but your definition is it fails by your definition of not having an ethics board, as opposed to doing anything sinful. I think that that's where the backlash came from, is a feeling of that it was somewhat entitled of those who were asking for ethics commission to infer that Vermont was a gigantic failure, as opposed with an appropriate approach would be say, let's do this so we can do better. That might be would have much better received, but it came across as a hammer.
It's a misleading.
And anyway, but it's a good thing. There's no question.
No, well stated, and not them. The bottom again. So the best way it was explained to me, which was really good, when the IRS passes a new rule, whatever that is, your local accountants, they'll usually say, well, in 3 years to 5 years to actually see what's an inch, what's a yard, what's 3 yards, what's too far. And by establishing this commission, exactly what Stephen said, it's not a question of saying, well, you people, Vermont is a bunch, no, Vermont has too much unethical behavior. No, it's trying to establish an actual format by which we get there.
I do understand that, yeah.
So it's really good. I think it's really good.
It's really important.
It is. Thank you.
Errors on omission.
Okay. Error on omission. Pursuant to, today is submission, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. Pursuant to Article 32, VSA S4261, correcting omissions from the grand list. New England Municipal Resource Center would like to submit the following parcels of the select board for approval. Dated October 4th, 2023, parcel 0039094 -160. Owner Hutchinson Kirk. Location 30 Shady Pines Park. Current grand list value $5,900. Reason for error and omission request: this unlanded mobile home was removed in July 2022. Respectfully submitted, Rachel Cohen, Lister. You want to go on, just go on to the second one and do them together? Not separate?
Yep.
Okay. Error on omission, number 2, submitted 11/8/2023, pursuant to Article 32, annotated for 61. I corrected omissions for the grand list submitted by New England Municipal Resources. Would like to submit the following parcels to the select board of Westminster for approval. Parcel 1, 007089. New parcel to be created. Owner, Westminster Back W Solar LLC. Location, Back Westminster Road on parcel 007089. Current grand list value, 0. Will be $717,910. Reason for E&O request: photovoltaic system was added to this land only parcel. Parcel 2, application number 008043.12. Owner, Farnsworth, Roger I. Location, Westminster Heights Road. Reason for E&O request: when this parcel was transferred from the town of Westminster to current owner in 2018, tax status was not changed from exempt to taxable. Current grand list value, $126,100. Respectfully submitted, Rachel Cohen, Worcester. Sorry.
I can't find it, but didn't we just do the Shady Pines one?
I thought we did too,
Thank you.
Was it another Shady Pines thing?
right?
No, this is the same one, yeah.
It
might
could
have done
be,
it.
you could absolutely be, I'll go back and find it, but
Yeah, make sure it's not another
it's
duplicate. We
not a
did do one,
duplicate, thank you.
but it
And
could have
it
been,
and it was because the mobile home wasn't there,
yeah,
right?
it was the same reason.
Same,
Right.
same
Another hard
owner,
to, yeah.
same reason.
I think, yeah,
I'm gonna have two and
I'll find it.
Are those that the motion, Kevin?
Yes, it is.
All second.
Submission.
Okay, sorry, Jason.
No, no worries. I wasn't sure.
The motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Is it possible that I can get a copy, or how are you gonna do it? How would you like me? You want me to,
Take a picture and send it.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
and I'll look for the,
Boards, committees, and commissions.
I'll just, real quick, so I'm on the Wind and Solid Waste Commission, which I've actually enjoyed. I thought I would wait until our guy gets his feet in on his priorities, but I think by December, I should be handing that over to our new manager. Because traditionally that is a manager's post.
Oh, I see,
but,
you were doing interim.
yes, but I've enjoyed it thoroughly and learned a lot about it. But I just wanted to let everyone know that once he gets his other priorities done, I'm gonna
Then he's gonna take care of garbage.
take care of the garbage. Quite great people down there. Okay, that's it, that's why.
All right. Any other business?
I do have one other business. I'm gonna read something that I wrote from, so Westminster Institute has their 100th anniversary dedication of the building, September of next year. And I'll read this. This is also gonna go in the Gazette, hopefully on the town website, once Lou gets something straightened out. And anywhere else we can kind of post it. Hello, Westminster community. In September of 2024, the Westminster Institute will be celebrating its 100th anniversary of the dedication of the Westminster Institute. An informal committee has been formed to plan a dedication ceremony for mid-September, the 14th or the 15th. In conjunction with the ceremony, the committee is planning the first annual, hopefully, Westminster Community Festival. Our plan is to have a day-long event celebrating not only Westminster Institute, but our great local artists, craftspeople, farmers, vendors, local nonprofit, community organizations. We're also hoping to have the Westminster Historical Society, First Congregational Church, and the Westminster Fire Department participate with events coinciding with the festival. Essentially a townwide festival celebrating not only the Institute, but Westminster's long history of agriculture, cottage industry, and sense of community that makes Westminster great. Here is where you come in. We are looking for interested folks to volunteer in all aspects of the event. We are also seeking interested local vendors, craftspeople, farmers, businesses, and local nonprofits that would be interested in participating. We are also looking for both individual and corporate sponsors to help cover things like trash disposal, bathrooms, and other basic expenses. The committee is in the very beginning stages and is seeking public input to help make this event a success. Interested folks can contact the following committee members for information, myself or Susan Mel.
And just, there'll be some interest that not conflict with the Westminster West Community Fair, which is the weekend after Labor Day.
Correct.
So just,
We're trying to be conscious of all the things going around.
Yeah, and of course, the Putney Harvest Festival is off in October, so that's out of the way.
Yep.
But yeah, good time of year. That's really good.
That's all I have.
All right. Date of next meeting, we would normally meet November 22nd, but we've kind of,
No, sorry, before Thanksgiving.
yes, we have, oh, you weren't here for our little discussion. We were thinking of moving it to Wednesday, November 29th.
Oh, that's when,
Would be
that's
the
when the
following week.
budget thing was brought up at that time.
Correct.
And I was
So
thinking,
moved.
that's- Yeah, okay. That wasn't an extra meeting, that was a
Yes, no,
move meeting.
it's a move meeting,
So we're just going to
So moved.
29th.
Next, 29.
November 29th.
Thank you.
Yes.
And so moved.
Same time, same place. Okay,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Uh-oh.
That's not-
Oh, there's my right.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
It's right.
All right. Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. We're out.
Will we know before our budget is being discussed that our,
Recording stopped.
Sorry.
is there a way to let us know that whatever night is the time when our budget is going to be discussed? Barring